Hey, good morning, fellow YouTubers. I haven't made a video solely about narcissism in a long time, but just walking to the car right now, it's like 7:19. I'm taking my dog to the car, my dog to the dog park, and it just, struck me about, because anytime I leave my room, I have this roommate situation. Anytime I leave my room, well, first of all, he feels like he has to always be making noise. And I think that comes down to competition. That he's the man, he's doing things. So he tries to be on the phone nonstop in his room, talking really, really loud. If he's like watching TV, the minute he hears me step in the living room, he turns up the TV really loud. And I'm always going out of my way to be as quiet as I can. I mean, not walking on eggshells, but I don't go out of my way because I don't have that in my heart. I'm not trying to antagonize anyone, or I'm not in competition with him. I mean, I won't say I'm not in competition with anyone, but I'm definitely not in competition with him for anything. But the first night I moved in, I mean, it was so apparently obvious, because he told me all about himself. And just all about abuse. Poor me, victim. I've had the worst life out of anyone in the entire world. Blah 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 blah, nonstop for literally hours. And then I thought I would try to chime in with a little bit of information about myself. Didn't go over very well. He didn't want to hear anything I had to say about myself. But when I was trying, I shared with him that I'm retired and I'm on a pension now. And he was like, for what? And I said, education, school psychology. And immediately, I mean, here's a guy that probably doesn't even have a high school diploma. And he immediately started going into my area, like graduate school, and talking about degrees and PhDs and masters, and about how the really, really good people in this area get several masters and several PhDs. And I had to correct him. I'm like, no, it's just a means to an end. You're a professional student if you go for more than one PhD, or if you're going for, three masters and a PhD. You're spending way too much time there, way too much money. You need to get in and get out. You need to get what you need for your career and get out. Now, that might mean you need two PhDs because the career you're going into involves economics and psychology, or I don't know, but no, there's no need to go more than what you need to be happy in a certain career. It's a means to an end. Anyone that so I kind of said that, and he was like, got very offended. And my ex-wife, has 2 PhDs and 3 masters, and I'm like, well, there you go, perfect example. She's a professional student. You don't need that many upper level degrees. It's a waste of time. Oh, the Amtrak is going right overboard, over the bridge right now. And I've been wondering, the whole time I've lived up here, I've only seen cargo trains. I've never seen an Amtrak. But there's a ticket office, and I was thinking that'd be a great, if there's no tourist trains up here, that'd be a great business to develop, because people love trains. It's very nostalgic and romantic. But sorry, I'm getting off the track. So competitiveness. I have a family member that will remain unnamed, but this individual, any best friend he had, he would always have a best friend, and he always had to be dominant over this best friend. Anytime this best friend came into money, success, happiness, and got a little pep in his step, this individual would start deriding him to me, and I'm sure to many, many others, and talking about how he thinks he's so cool all of a sudden. He thinks he's this and that. Basically kind of saying he needs to be taken down a peg, because I can't put up with someone that's actually happy and has a little bit of swag and a little bit of pep in their step. I got to take them down a notch, And So all he has is this whole lifelong trail of best friends that he doesn't want anything to do with anymore. If he sees them, he'll still be cordial. He might invite them over to his house once in every 3 or 5 years just to make it look like he doesn't have vengeance and a major issue with the old friend. But he does, because he tells me, he hates anyone that thinks that they're on the same level. They have to be extremely relevant. They have to be extremely important, up on all the new trends. Have to feel that they're more knowledgeable than anyone in the room about any subject. So, that competitiveness is just way off compared to anyone that doesn't have either NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, or just on the spectrum, is leaning so much narcissistic traits. They have so many that they might not qualify by the DSM-5, but they have enough that they're in that gray zone. They're getting real close. No one's in the dog park, not one single person. I was afraid of that. I got here too early. But anyways, that's the way to spot them, I think. It's kind of easy to see extreme competitiveness, and so I hope that helps you see them, because it was so helpful for me the first night I was in this new apartment, and I was actually living there for like 2 weeks before this roommate moved in, but it was glaringly apparent to me how insecure he was and how competitive he was. Insecurity would have to be neck and neck with competitiveness, but the competitiveness is there because of that insecurity and that false persona that they've convinced themselves and they've taken on themselves. So it's that false persona wrapped up with insecurity that causes that low self-image on the inside, and this convincing themselves that they're superhuman on the outside, and their brain falls in line with that. But then when you look better than them in any way, that competitiveness, it threatens them losing that mask and having to see their real self, which is something that they're ashamed of. They're full of hatred. They've done terrible things, and they don't like to have to look at that face on. So I'm starting to go off track, but that competitiveness is very apparent in narcissistic individuals. And so be wary, keep your eyes open for super competitiveness. God bless. Have a good day. Talk to you later.